Hi, I'm Kwai. Pretty much the first thing that people will say to you when you first tell them that you're getting married is congratulations. Second thing is, when is the date? Now, the date is pretty much determined by where you're going to get married. So that is pretty much the first thing you need to look at. Whether you're getting married in the church, getting married at a civil place somewhere, in a hotel, outdoors in somebody's back garden, somebody's front garden, in the middle of the town, in a pod on the Millennium Wheel, on the London Eye, that's the same thing, or getting married abroad. The date is going to be pretty much set by the wedding venue. Now, the most popular venues will be booked up to 2 years in advance, which is insane, but it gives you a lot of time to do all the planning in between. Now, there is a lot of planning in between. Trust me. I have made, well, not a mistake, because I'm quite glad I'm getting married soon, but we left a very short period of time between getting engaged and getting married. I proposed May and getting married in November, so that's 6 months difference. And 6 months sounds like a long time to plan for something, but when you're doing other things in between, like working and doing other things in your spare time, it suddenly hits you very quickly. It's like bam, 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 bam. Got to do the hair, got to do the rings, got to get the photographer sorted, got to get the minister sorted, got to get the marriage certificate stuff sorted, got to get the passport sorted, got to get the honeymoon sorted. The time of year is important as well. Most people get married in the summer or around Christmas time. Those are the two most popular times of the year to get married in the UK. In other countries it will be different, but I'm guessing it will be seasonal too. I myself am getting married in Hawaii, and that is because we wanted to get away from the UK. Also, it meant that we could get married in the same year as the time that we got engaged, and November is a cheaper time of year to fly abroad, generally from the UK. So we thought, Hawaii sounds like a good idea. And we'd planned for a long time before that we wouldn't be taking any guests with us at all, and we wouldn't be inviting any, including our parents and including relatives and including our best friends, long lost distant friends, even our American friends. We're not even inviting those along. We're just having a wedding for two on the beach. Except there are actually quite a few people attending now, like the minister. You have to have a minister. In Hawaii, you don't need a witness, though the witness can be the minister, which is different to the UK, where you have to have two witnesses extra in addition to the minister. So you can do those solo weddings like you see in those movies in Las Vegas, where two people get hitched and the only person who's there is the Elvis minister and maybe the photographer. In our wedding, we're going to have a photographer and our minister. And those are the only people who are going to be joining, apart maybe our wedding coordinator might be there too. But we've chosen to get married at the Maunalani Bay and Bungalows on Hawaii Island, or Big Island in Hawaii. And we chose that location, one, because it's the best hotel in America, or most romantic hotel in North America. We had looked at places in Asia, and we had looked at places in Europe, but we didn't feel like Europe because we just wanted to get away from the culture that we're used to. We didn't want to go to Asia because we've done Asia a lot, because both our families are from Asia. And so we thought, well, let's try America. Why not? Let's do it. Hawaii is a beautiful place. and it's somewhere you would like to visit before you die, right? So we're going to get married there. It's been well researched. We found a good location, and from that we decided the time of year, and we thought November would be a good time. It's just before the American Thanksgiving. It's before Christmas, so it's just a nice time. I quite like this November feel. So we've chosen November as our date. It's not going to be too cold, and it's not going to be super hot. And we really didn't want it super hot. It means that I can wear a suit. It means that the bride can get her dress in the UK, and can take it abroad, because the wedding dresses tend to be very hot and heavy. Even if they're not really heavy, they tend to be quite hot because they are multi-layered. They've got some ruching, and they've got the corset underneath, and everything adds weight, everything adds temperature, because you're adding layers, trapping in the heat. And where was I? So Hawaii, we've chosen Hawaii, and the location is very important. We have only just now 1 month away, less than 1 month away, been able to secure our wedding venue. That is very unique, because most of the time you would have to book way in advance, like I said, up to 2 years. But for us it was the opposite. We had a minister on standby who would have done our wedding. This was our plan B. Who would have done our wedding on a public beach in Hawaii Island, next to our hotel where we're staying at the Mauna Lani. Now, we did want the venue booked, but we also wanted it at sunset, because the photographer, having consulted the photographer, said it's perfect at sunset. You don't want it at any other time. So we had set our hearts on a sunset wedding, and Mauna Lani cannot guarantee a sunset wedding for just 2 people, because it doesn't make commercial financial sense for them to book it 6 months, 1 year, 2 years in advance for just 2 people, when they could have a party of 400, filling up much of the hotel, and also giving them a lot of dough on the day. So that's why it's only 30 days or 30 days or under to reserve your wedding for 2, which was quite touch and go. We didn't like the idea of getting married on a public beach, but we were so set on having a sunset wedding, and that's what we're having. So we managed to get it, and I would say for most people, do your research. That's the main thing. Just do your research, find out exactly what you want, how much it's going to cost. Our venue is only going to cost us about $550, but it goes up very quickly. As soon as you have guests of any sort, you could be looking at 100 grand for a really nice venue anywhere. It's very expensive to have a wedding. So people, when they invite lots and lots of guests, they start to have venues that are gigantic, or in barns. Even barns start charging loads of money. So the smaller the venue, the cheaper it is. Churches, they don't charge very much. They don't charge anything, actually. Normally, I think you just donate money to the church, or there's like a small fee for having your wedding there. But I think the rule is you have to have been going to the church for a while, or you have to go and see the minister and say your prayers or something. I don't know if that's changed now, but I know that was the case a few years ago when some of my other friends got married. They decided they wanted to get married in a certain church, and then they had to travel back there every other week to go and see the minister, to say the vows, to do some prayer, Bible study or something with the minister, understand how important marriage is, that kind of malarkey. But it means a cheap wedding venue, and means you can spend more on your reception. So that's the other thing, the reception. oh, we don't have a reception because we don't have any guests. Our reception is going to be this weekend when we're having our stag and hen do all joined up in one big party for our friends and family before we go away. This is going to be our only party. We're not going to do a hen night. We're not going to do a stag do. We're going to have like a combined event. And for most people, though, they will have a reception. And receptions also cost money. So a lot of people have it done at the same venue. Have the wedding in room A, and then in the same building have the reception in room B. Or like some of my friends in Cornwall recently, they had their wedding in what do you call it? One of those registry offices. That's the one. A civil thing in a civil place. Designated registry office where you get your marriage certificate. Wherever you get married, you'd have to go to the registry office to sign all your forms and things anyway. So you can either go there, which you have to book in advance as well, and then you wouldn't have your reception at the registry office. You have to go somewhere else. So my friends had it in a Thai restaurant, but it was whatever works for you and whatever's in your budget. I've had friends who've had their reception at the house to save money, serving their own goods. They bought stuff from Marks and Spencer's, finger food, and I've had friends who rented out a big barn and had friends and family actually gather things like their own food or cook their own home food to take to the wedding for everyone to share out as a buffet. Other people, I've been to weddings where they've had a buffet cart, big buffet trays, and you go along and you get your buffet. I've been to weddings where you're served gourmet food. I've been to Petrus for a wedding reception, and that was like £200 a head. It can cost a great deal of money for the families or the couple to get married. So you have to bear all of this in mind, and there are other things to budget for too. We could have gone mad and just spent thousands by going to, say, the Four Seasons, and their minimum wedding for two people is something like £2,500 or $2,500. One of the two. It's still a lot more than $500. It comes with some sort of package, but still it doesn't really justify it. Being able to get a cheap venue means that you can spend more on the photographer, and make sure you get a good photographer. I'll talk about that another time. But it's really important that you get the venue that you want at the time you want. And once you secure that, do everything else. But don't blow the bank. Make sure you have some sort of set budget. Get a list out of all the things you need, from your stationery to your rings to the amount of guests that you're going to have per head as well, and knock out those lists pretty quickly, because if you think, well, we don't actually have that much money to spend, say if you've got 5,000 or under, you're realistically not going to have more than 50 guests. No way, Jose. Not for both wedding and reception. If other people have done it with more than 50 guests, well done to you. But from all the costings and research that I've done, it's pretty impossible unless you're very inventive. So you have to start kind of culling your list, disappointing people that you've not seen for a long time, or people who maybe are your friends, might be even pretty good friends, but not good enough, if you know what I mean. you might just have family, very close family there, or there might be family pressures to make you have 400 people at your wedding, you know, like a massive Indian wedding. I've been to one of those and it was insane. It lasted 4 days. Incredible. Insane too. So be careful, work within your budget, don't blow the bank. It's a ceremony that and a reception that lasts 1 day, and it's just 1 day. I know a lot of people put a great deal of importance to it, and it is important, don't get me wrong, but there's also the rest of your life together, and that is the most important thing. It's no point bankrupting yourselves for 1 day of happiness for a lifetime of misery. So that's my last note, and I hope I have helped you on your way to a blissful wedding venue. I'm Kwai. Until next time, take care.